Hey there, I'm Alan Matthews from Classical Guitar Shed, and in this video you will learn a technique that you can use in your practice to get your pieces up to full performance level to where you can be absolutely confident that whenever you play it, it will be just beautiful. Every note, every little swell and fade, and every artistic flourish in there will be absolutely there for you every single time using this rule. If you enjoy it, please do subscribe to this channel. All right, what does it take to play a piece consistently good? How do the big guys do it, right? How do these guys sit down and play a piece, no mistakes, everything's absolutely clean, right? And more likely, how do you do it? Or a better question is, how can you do this? And this is the rule of 85%. And I'll explain exactly what that is in just a second. But first, what is involved in playing a piece at performance tempo consistently? Well, there's a couple of things. First off, we need to know the notes, right? Ideally, we have it memorized. We need to know what it is that we need to do, right? We need to know every bit of the music, everything about the music. We also need to know that we have the technical ability to do it. If the piece is at 120 beats a minute, we need to be able to play at 120 beats a minute, right? If we can't, we're not going to do it. And we need to be able to play consistently at that speed. So we need to have the technique, we need to have the knowledge of the piece. Those are the two requirements. In addition to this, we need accuracy and precision, right? So that we can actually play the note that we're wanting to play. It sounds like this instead of like this, right? So we need the accuracy, the precision, and the consistency to do it. Then we also need to know the musical expression and everything for the piece that we're playing. If we want that second one to be quiet, we need to know that it's quiet. We need to know why, right? Or at least we need to know it. Quiet. Quiet. And so we need to know every little bit of the musical expression, which means we need to make decisions for every single note on the entire page. So this is the background to be able to play this consistently is that you have to know it. You have to know what it is that you're trying to do. So first and foremost, figure out what is it that needs to happen. How does each note need to be played so that I can play it that way? And so if you want to be really lame, you can just be like, well, I'm not going to decide any of that, and I'll just play all the notes exactly the same and just play it. And then as long as it's clean and up to tempo, I'm fine with that. And I think that's a little bit lame, but you can do it, and a lot of people do. But it's much better to actually look into the music and get profound with it. Choose the role of every single note. So then we get into, okay, I've done all that. I've practiced my technique separately. I've done my scales. My hands can do it. I know the music, but I still make a random slip here and there, or I have a memory slip, or just something happens, right? And so how do I guard against that? And here's where the 85% rule comes in. The 85% rule is that if you can play the piece perfectly, with everything that you want to do within it, all of the clarity and all of the musical, everything, the expression, the notes, everything. If you can do it at 85% of the speed, then you can get it at 100% of the speed very easily. If you can get it consistently, clean, articulate, and just like you want it at 85%, playing it at 100% is just, at that time, it's just a choice. As long as you've got the technical, as long as your hands can do it, as long as you've got the chops, then if you can do it at 85%, then 100 it's not that much of a stretch. It's just a musical decision at that point. You just play it faster. So then how do we actually get this, and how do we use this rule of 85%? The way to do that is then to slow practice and to make 85% the goal. First off, in your technical practice, make sure that you've got the chops, right? Make sure that you can do what it is that needs to be done at full tempo and above, ideally way above, like ideally at least 20%, 10, 20% above. So if it's at 120, ideally tack on 20 or 30 points to that and be able to do it there. And that way it'll be easy at that time to do it at the full tempo. But assuming that you can physically play at that speed, then slow down and practice just playing for clarity and cleanliness at a very much slower practice. So then what are we looking for within this? One, we're looking for really clean repetitions, no mistakes. That's what we want at tempo. That's what we want slowly. So the placement of each finger the release of each note, everything. Oops, that doesn't count then. Or it does count and I didn't do it right. So stop, figure it out, go back. Why did it happen? Am I confused about the music? What just happened? Fix it so that every single time, there it is, so that you can go on and consistently get it every single time. Another thing that you're looking for within this, and you'll have to have it, there's no two ways around it, is consistent attention. And this is one of the big ones. This is one of the main reasons we have little random mistakes and memory slips in our pieces, is because our attention drifted. It's really simple. We're just not paying attention and something happened. We started thinking about the ham sandwich we get later. Last night I dreamt of a fried chicken sandwich with donuts instead of buns, which I actually did dream that last night and woke up laughing about it. But so now I'm thinking about that and I'm not thinking about what is the next note, or I'm not thinking about placement in my fingers and everything else that comes with playing. So consistent attention throughout the entire thing. And this is a muscle. You have to train this. Do not be surprised if, especially with slow practice, that's really challenging, because it is, and that's what we're training. With that training, then we get stamina. At first, it's not going to be much. If you've never focused for more than a few seconds at a time, if you're like, on the Twitter feed speed, then really it's going to be difficult at first. But with time, you will get stamina and be able to hold it. And that's really important. The other part is appropriate physical tension with everything that we're playing. If we can't play it through at 85% without tiring out, locking up and just becoming exhausted, we're not going to do it at speed either. It's not going to be good even if we do it at that speed. So we need to work on appropriate physical tension, working in places where we actually do let our muscles release, if it's a bunch of bar chords or whatever it happens to be, so that we can have that physical stamina to get through using appropriate tension. So this is the 85% rule. If we can get it perfect at 85%, it's cake at 100. It's a foregone conclusion at 100. And so long as we have the technical skills to do it. So it's more work than you'd think it would be. It's really hard, but it's much easier than just trying to play it at 100% all the time and hoping it gets better, which it probably won't. So instead of doing that, what we can do is slow down, shoot for 100% accuracy, including all of our musical decisions, all of our dynamics and swells and fades and accents and rhythm things, slowing down, speeding up, everything exactly perfect like we want it at 85%. And then if we can do that, if we can do it consistently, then 100% is easy breezy. All right, hope you've enjoyed this. Please do subscribe to this channel and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.